The chapter literally just dropped. When I tell you the moment it dropped, I read it. Like, this is one of the hype chapters of Elbaf. I'm not gonna do a full reaction like I usually do because that makes them run a bit long. So I'm just gonna tell you guys my thoughts. Thought 1. Emu is a bum, bro. Fraudulent activity. I'm gonna be honest with you. Emu slander all aside. Blackbeard agenda all aside. Those of you guys who think he's the final villain, tell me you were expecting this in Elbaf. Emu is using a second form. I didn't even know he had more forms to use besides the one in the Holy Land. And now I'm seeing him use a second one? I'm wondering, because I personally believe that this is his full Zoan form, his like actual demon form, and then what he was using previously was his hybrid form. Which, I know some guys in my Discord were saying that the form he used last was his base form, that this is now his hybrid form, and then the form he used in the throne room is his full Zoan form, which it doesn't really make sense to me that Emu genuinely looks like a demon, which I guess he might look like one. It's like, it's up in the air. I guess there might actually be like a race of demons in One Piece, and Emu is a demon who ate the devil fruit, which I guess it kind of works like how Loki being an ancient giant gives him the full potential of the Nidhogg fruit. Maybe Emu being a demon gives him the full potential of the demon fruit. So, you know, maybe it goes hand in hand that way. But regardless of that, Emu using a second form in Elbaf after an old rusty Gabban has him looking like that? This is a Gabban that is old and rusty. He literally says before that attack, I'm getting rusty. And that Gabban has Emu looking like this. It's either you guys acknowledge that 1, Loki was doing a lot to Emu. 2, Luffy did nothing, so it has to be Loki. Like, you guys have to acknowledge Loki was in base putting the work in on Emu. That, or you're gonna acknowledge that Gabban as an old rusty man can do like this kind of stuff to Emu, which that's crazy. This is why I'm gonna be making an Elbaf upscales video, because this either upscales the old gen into the stratosphere, because if Emu is as strong as you guys believe, regardless of how nerfed he is, regardless of how weak you guys think he is, that Emu should not be getting done like this by an old rusty Gabban. Like, Emu should have genuinely low-diffed this dude. And Emu is out here giving him props saying, you know what? Hey man, I gotta respect you. You was putting in work. You put in the reps. You put in the hours. And Gabban's out here saying, you know what? You ain't bad yourself. I wish I could applaud you, but you cut my hand off. Gabban is unfazed, bro. This dude literally got his arm chopped off and he's out here like, bro, it is what it is. Let's keep it pushing. Gabban, mad props, mad respect, mad love to Gabban. But we all have to understand, Oda has narratively put in people that are already above Gabban. Garp, already above Gabban. Whitebeard while healthy, already above Gabban. Rayleigh, already above Gabban. Gabban being stated to be old and rusty means this whole Elbaf time dilation thing where it's like he's actually maintained his prime, so he's younger than Rayleigh was. Gabban literally says last chapter he's old and rusty. This is the same gap that Gabban and Rayleigh had. It's gonna be the same exact gap that they had back in their prime. But Gabban has been training. But Gabban has been defending Elbaf. Gabban has literally done nothing at all for us to say that he's maintained his prime better than Rayleigh has. Gabban has done about the exact same amount of stuff that Rayleigh has done during their times up until now. Rayleigh has now fought Kizaru and trained Luffy during the time skip. Rayleigh, he's basically maintained. The fact that an old rusty Rayleigh is capable of holding off Kizaru, who we see do crazy stuff to Gear 5, the same Gear 5 that Emu low diffs, like, Gabban and Rayleigh are basically bar for bar. And now, you know where this is going. Rayleigh literally says he can't keep up with Blackbeard. Rayleigh says he can't keep up with Blackbeard. Gabban has Emu looking like that. I don't care how weak he is. Like, genuinely, Emu would have to be at like 1% power right now. And if he is, it makes no sense why he came down to Elbaf. Like, genuinely. If Emu is at like 1% power, if Emu in his full glory is incomparable to what we're seeing right now, it makes no sense why he didn't just send Shamrock to Elbaf. Because why would you take that risk? You are Emu. You out here giving props to someone that could kill Harold, your strongest soldier, and you would come in here with your holy knights on standby, knowing that you are so nerfed that a guy like Gabban can do that to you. A guy like Loki in base, while already fatigued and nerfed, can do that to you. Where Luffy from deep range can off guard you like that. Where Hajrudin in his second form catches this dude off guard. I don't want to hear any more Hajrudin slander. Like, Hajrudin from deep range runs in. Emu, mid-attack. Emu's out here bloodthirsty, mid-attack. Hajrudin comes in with a strong right arm. Strong right arm. Emu's out here. He's pushing back. Hajrudin flexes. Follow through. Knocks Emu back. Emu out here is like, let me get mine. Let me get my piece. Hajrudin, he says, we block those. We eat those. I don't want to hear any more Hajrudin slander. I don't want to hear it. Kaido, he's out here. He might knock the horns off Kaido. I'm not even lying to you. He might knock the horns off Kaido. Doflamingo, he's one-shotting that dude. He's one-shotting him. The Gungnir we see now, one-shotting Doflamingo. One-shotting Katakuri. One-shotting Lucci. This is the future king of Elbaf. Y'all were clowning me. You were all clowning me when I said Hajrudin stocks were gonna be good in Elbaf. Where are y'all now? You see, I kept it secret. I kept it hidden because I know it was gonna come. I knew it was gonna happen. And you guys told me, bro, this is a mock Vice rival. Bro, he got loaded by Sugar. Bro, he's not even on Gear 2 Dressrosa Luffy's level, bro. What do you got to say now? What do you have to say now? Absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all concerning Hajrudin anymore. Hajrudin conquers hockey. It's coming. Hajrudin ACOC. It's coming. Hajrudin Ancient Giant Gene's Awakening. It's coming. Don't trip. Don't be fooled. All these fake Hajrudin Glazers, they're gonna come out of the woodwork. Gonna say, yo, I was always standing Hajrudin. I always knew it was gonna be something great. No. None of you guys believed in Hajrudin. I believed in Hajrudin. I knew that what we saw in Dressrosa, that was literally broken bones. Broken bones. Nerfed to the utmost. 10,000 tons. Was it tons or was it pounds? I think it was tons. 10,000 tons. Boom. Up into the stratosphere off broken bones. And you guys are surprised that he's holding off Emu? That he's out here making Emu. Couldn't even hold it back. Couldn't even hold it back. 10,000 tons. This guy, greatest punching power. Greatest punching power in the verse. I think the only people who could probably come close, low-key, he might be up here competing with Prime Garp in terms of punching power. Pure, raw punching power. No hockey, no ACOC, no Whitebeard Devil Fruit. Just pure hands. Pure strength. Pure physicals. Hajrudin, he might be in the top 5. I got Prime Garp, I got Whitebeard, I got Hajrudin, I got Harold, and maybe Loki. Loki might not be training them fists the way that Hajrudin is. You know, he got a Devil Fruit now. But raw punching power, Hajrudin is up there, bro. Hajrudin is up there. But Hajrudin Glaze aside, the fact that this is getting done to Emu, and we literally just seen him transform. Like, he didn't even get good feats off. The moment we see him transform, he's getting feats done on him by Hajrudin. Like, you guys gotta reason with me here. You gotta give me something. Because the further and further Elbaf goes on, the crazier and crazier you guys look. Because Emu shows up. You guys said he's gonna load if everybody. This is the second sub-OD. Emu's out here fighting Loki. You said, all right, he's gonna load if Loki. Emu's gonna kill Loki. Then he's gonna take all the kids and he's gonna get off Elbaf. Imu gets domed by base Luffy. He's gonna murk Luffy, he's gonna murk Loki. This is gonna be the second Sabaody confirmed. Imu does beat Luffy. Alright, bro, this is it now. Imu's gonna wash everybody, he's gonna go around, clean up house, and then he's gonna leave. Imu doesn't leave. Imu gets stopped by Gabban. Alright, bro, this is just gonna be the Rayleigh situation. He's gonna make Gabban look awful, and then Luffy's gonna have to run. We get to this chapter. Gabban is telling Luffy, you need to leave. Live to fight another day, Hajrudin. Luffy says, nah, I'm not leaving. We not going nowhere. I still got one more left in me. Hajrudin says, nah, we not leaving. We not going nowhere. If he offs me, I got my brother in the tuck to become king. Loki says, yeah, that's my brother. All right, let's chill. We not that close yet. But yeah, Hajrudin, I got your back, bro. Like, do we really think after this chapter that these guys are going to give up? These guys would rather die than lose to Imu at this point. Luffy would rather die than lose to Imu at this point. Hajrudin literally says he'd rather die than lose to Imu at this point. Loki, he would rather die than lose to Imu at this point. Do we think that Imu is going to kill these guys? This man has transformed a second time. He was huffing and puffing last chapter. Now he's at full health again this chapter. Imu literally just reset the clock. And we think that this is the end of the arc? This is the final clash for them until we get to the final saga and we see this all over again? I'm like, come on, guys. Reason with me here. Be reasonable people. It's either Imu loses this arc, Imu wins, but he wins in such a sloppy way that he doesn't get I really don't know what it could be, because Luffy has to beat Imu. Like, I don't think anybody else deserves to beat Imu besides maybe Sabo. But Sabo's beating Imu? That's not happening. So Luffy has to beat Imu. But if Luffy doesn't beat Imu now, we've seen basically Imu's entire bag. Luffy's not going to lose next chapter because, like this chapter says, the title of this chapter is Loki is still here. Until Loki uses hybrid, Imu doesn't even really get a win. Like, if Loki doesn't use hybrid and Imu wins, did he even really win? Because unless he fights Loki in hybrid later on, we're basically gonna know for sure that if Loki went hybrid and fought Imu, Loki would have beaten Imu on Elbaf. Which, good job. You didn't fight the one guy who could beat you. Like, Imu has to beat Loki on hybrid for a victory to count. Like, I'm not saying that's a part of my agendas, my claims, because I just don't think Imu's gonna win at all. But for Imu to win, and for you guys to be right about this being the final villain, he has to beat hybrid Loki. Because then you fought the strongest guy on Elbaf and won. Which is the only way you look good as a main antagonist figure. Like, Imu has shown us way too much. This is not Kizaru. This is not Aokiji. This is not Akainu. This isn't Kaido in Act 1. This isn't Enel at the start of Skypiea. This isn't Crocodile in Round 1. This isn't Katakuri the first time he fought Luffy. Like, Imu has genuinely used two forms. Two forms, ACOG, and he still hasn't won yet. Because Luffy's still up, Hajrudin is in the fight now, and Loki's here. Like, these three characters are literally on the mural in Elbaf, fighting a form that now, like, look at the silhouette of Imu transforming into this form. This is literally the demon we see on the mural in Elbaf, which, another Raftel King W, this is why I said this chapter is Raftel King upscale. I said early on that this mural is what is happening in Elbaf. First world Elbaf, the great red line serpent, the serpent soaked in blood, the one that even the god of war of Elbaf couldn't beat. That was the first world. Second world, Dozon versus Imu. We hear Imu came and invaded Elbaf 800 years ago. Fought Dozon. That's the dragon we see on the tree. Now, third world, Imu versus Loki, Luffy, Hajrudin, Shirahoshi is Mosa. Mosa's coming in. Morgans and Vivi, they're gonna be flying in. Alabasta flags. Wano, just down the road. Egghead, just down the road. Grand Fleet on the way because Barto fought Shanks. Barto might have even rounded up the Grand Fleet and got them on the way to Elbaf thinking they would be fighting Shanks. You guys cannot call me crazy. You had no argument before, you have even less of an argument now. 1190. This chapter was going to be the chapter for your argument. If Imu won and he looked nice this chapter, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Imu will win this arc. Maybe Imu will be the Straw Hats. But next chapter, it's a break next chapter. Like, genuinely, Oda would have to repeat. You know what guys are going to tell me? They're going to say, bro, you said this last time when Luffy transformed into Gear 5. Dead that. Bun that. Oda would genuinely have to clean sweep everybody. Next chapter. For you guys to have an argument. 1194, Shamrock will appear. 1196, Blackbeard will appear. Imu is going to be stalled until somebody comes to Elbaf. Like, somebody has to bail Imu out, bro. Because it's not looking good right now. It is not looking good for you guys right now. And we got Sommers and Zoro. Sanji and Killingham. Do we think that those guys are going to beat Sanji and Zoro? Do we think Zoro is going to lose to another swordsman before fighting Mihawk? Do we think that Sanji getting his Conqueror's Haki gas is going to lose to Killingham? Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to tell you. This chapter, phenomenal chapter. Phenomenal chapter. An 8 out of 10 chapter. I could have given it a 9, but the story beats aren't really there. It's basically just a hype chapter. People slander One Piece for the hype chapters because it's like, oh, nothing really even happened this chapter. This is going to be an awful chapter on a reread. I don't care. I'm not rereading the story right now. I'm reading it in real time. And in real time, I'm feeling the energy. I'm feeling the hype, Oda. I'm feeling the gas. I'm feeling the fire. And this is some heat. This is some straight heat right now that I'm receiving. Genuinely, Elbaf, I think, has at least 24. Like, Elbaf is gonna take to the end of the year at least. I don't think we're gonna be out of Elbaf by the end of the year. If we are, then that means that Imu hasn't lost yet. I still think that we do have some more stuff left in Elbaf to do. Because now with the Biblo stuff, Biblo genuinely might give us some Void Century insight. Like, if Biblo is the wise old owl, he's been here since, like, God knows how long, and he's been around since Dozon's time. If Biblo has been around since Dozon's time, and Biblo has already seen Imu invade once, and already seen Dozon fight Imu once, then Biblo might genuinely be giving us some insight onto Imu's first attack on Elbaf, which Imu's first attack on Elbaf would take place during the Void Century. It would take some place either during the Void Century or slightly after the Void Century. I think Imu would have rated Elbaf as one of the 20 kings because we see people coming in with him, which I think Imu would have rated Elbaf as Saint Nerona Imu, one of the 20 kings, to try and oust some of Joy Boy's allies. Because we do know that Elbaf is an ally of Joy Boy. So Biblo is going to be giving us some nice lore dumps. Chopper getting some importance because Chopper has been doing some stuff, but he hasn't actually been really important in a while, which I love it when the other Straw Hats get some importance. Like, Usopp is... Bro, I just remembered Usopp. Usopp still has stuff to do on Elbaf, bro. Like, genuinely, this arc cannot end if Usopp doesn't do anything. Usopp has to do stuff. We have to see Loki and Hybrid. We have to get some Biblo information. There's still stuff left in Elbaf that we have to do. Like, the arc genuinely feels like something I've never seen before in One Piece. Because this should basically be the climax, but we have so much stuff left to do in the arc. Like, it doesn't feel like Wano where the raid was going on in the background and everybody was fighting and it was just fighting until the end. I genuinely don't know what to compare this to. Like, maybe when the first raid happened on Whole Cake Island, maybe? Like, besides that, I genuinely don't know a time in the story where the arc has felt this hectic, this climactic, and this important, but we still have we still have to see the Heaven Realm, because there's no way Oda ends the arc and we don't see the Heaven Realm. We still have to see Usopp do something, because, like, Elbaf Usopp jokes aside, Usopp has literally been fiending for this arc, fiending for this island, since the pre-time skip. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is like Zoro getting no importance in Wano. This is like Sanji getting no importance in Whole Cake Island. This is like Frankie. Well, Frankie genuinely didn't do anything in Egghead, so I guess it would be like Frankie doing nothing in Egghead. Like, but this is Usopp. This is not Frankie. This is one of the core 5. This is one of the first 5 crew members we had in the East Blue. Usopp is not Frankie. Usopp has to do something this arc, bro. If Usopp does nothing this arc, bro, I genuinely might call Elbaf an awful arc. I wouldn't call Elbaf an awful arc for that reason, but that would definitely be a big point away from Elbaf if Usopp does nothing at all this arc. But final thoughts, recouping it all, bringing it all together. We still got time left in Elbaf. Emu, dead the final villain argument. Dead the final villain argument. This genuinely just upscaled. Well, if Emu is as strong as we think he is, and if Emu is doing all of this to characters, Year 5. Luffy in Year 5, he's not beating Akainu, he's not beating Blackbeard, he's not beating most of the relevant top tiers. He's not beating Dragon, he's not beating Mihawk, he's not beating Zebek, he's not beating Herald, he's not like, Luffy in Year 5 is not beating any of these characters. Luffy in Year 5, genuinely, he might have to come way down in the top 10s, because he's not beating Aokiji, he's probably not beating Garp, because if Gabban is doing this to Emu and Luffy could genuinely do nothing, he's probably not beating Garp. Like, Luffy low-key might have to come off the top 10. Like, after Elbaf, Luffy genuinely might have gone down in rankings, because the way he's performing, if this is what old Gabban is performing, like, he's gonna need to upscale heavy upscale for us to be putting him back in the top 10 after Elbaf. This just raised the bar for everyone, because this does not raise Kaido's bar. Like, the way Luffy performed in Elbaf, genuinely, it doesn't really even correlate to Kaido. So Kaido just went down heavy. Like, Kaido shot down the rankings. He just, boom, plummeted. Big Mom, boom, plummeted. Like, nothing Luffy has done in Elbaf leads me to believe that Kaido would be doing better than him in this arc. Especially since we already know that Luffy surpassed Kaido in Wano with Gear 5. Gabban as an old man is genuinely putting the beats on Kaido. Garp as an old man genuinely putting the beats on Kaido. Rayleigh as an old man genuinely putting the beats on Kaido. Like, Kaido is going band for band with Oden and Wano. If Prime Rayleigh and Gabban were astronomically above Oden, it makes sense, because Kaido still has Oden in his top 5 to this day. To this day, he has Oden in his top 5. Rox is whooping Kaido. Let's dead the argument that Kaido and the new gen Rox pirates surpassed him. That's not happening. Rox is whooping Kaido. Luffy's still whooping Kaido. Gaban is whooping Kaido. Hajrudin is out here getting feats off on Kaido. Like, Hajrudin is genuinely not getting low diff by Kaido, not getting mid diff by Kaido. Loki putting the beats on Kaido, bro. Like, Elbaf has just skewed the story in so many different ways. It has upscaled so many characters, and it has downscaled so many characters. The top 30 at the end of this arc is gonna look wild. It's gonna look insane, because people are genuinely probably gonna be having Gabban in their top 10 of all time. Like, the way Gabban has performed, if you believe who Emu is, and you believe that he is what he says he is, when Gabban says, this guy is God. He's not God, bro. If this is God, Gabban, then you're Kratos. You're Kratos with the Chaos Blades, Gabban. If this is God, you are Kratos, bro. Like, man, I have never been this hyped for a One Piece chapter in recent memory, because I'm reading the story with my own eyes, and this, to me, is like the chapter where we got Rox's face reveal, and him being revealed as the father of Blackbeard. Because this chapter, everything after this chapter, is the end of the story, basically. All of the end of story upscales. All of the end of story narrative. All of the end of story hype and glaze we'll be getting. Like, this is now the second leg of Elbaf. This is round 2. If Luffy loses round 2, hey, it is what it is. There's always round 3. The fight's not over until Imu gets off Elbaf. From the chapter that Imu beat Luffy, if Imu did not get off Elbaf in the next 5 chapters, I said if he did not get off Elbaf in the next 5 chapters, dead the argument that he's going to be winning. Dead the argument. Because the longer he stays in Elbaf, the more drawn out the fight's going to be. The more drawn out the fight's going to be, the longer you give Luffy the opportunity to win. Especially since we have Loki still here to stall. Gabban, Loki might get healed up and have one more left in him. One-handed Kamudo. One-handed Divine Song. Like, the arc's not done. You guys can't tell me I've lost when the arc's not even done yet. Oh, bro, you're so wrong. Look at this. All of your agendas are cooked, man. I didn't know that Elbaf ended. I didn't know that we were in the next arc. I do not lose until curtains close, Elbaf is done. This is the last chapter of Elbaf. I don't lose until that happens. Imu could go to Marijois. If that's still considered a part of the Elbaf arc, I don't lose. Because until Elbaf ends, my agendas are up. I am not Mr. Morge. I am not the raid on Onigashima is gonna fail. You guys are the raid on Onigashima is gonna fail. Because you're actively rooting for the MC to lose. Since when did we root for Luffy to lose? Since when did we root for our big dog, the White Warrior, the Sun God? Since when did we root for him to lose? You guys want him to fail? That's gonna make the story more interesting to you? If Luffy fails again? I want to see my big dog win. I want to see Big Monkey D swing it around. Slap him in his face. Slap him in his face twice. I want to see our GOAT win. And you guys hate on me for that. Because you feel it's Emu slander. It is Emu slander. It is Emu hatred. But more than that, it's love for our big GOAT, Monkey D. Luffy. But that's it, guys. It's gonna be a hot break week this week. Now I get mine. You guys had yours when Emu stabbed Luffy in his chest. Stabbed Luffy in his chest again. You guys had your fun. Now I get my fun. I get my time to shine. Because now I end on a break week where my agendas are up. Where my stocks are up. Watch out, because I'm coming for you. Next chapter is going to be another consequential chapter. If next chapter ends and Emu's still on Elbaf, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it. But that's it for my reaction, y'all. I got mad videos to record today. Like right after this, I'm going to be recording the next video because I got so many video ideas in my head, bro. If you guys saw my post, you know what videos I have coming up in the tuck. And even beyond that, bro, I got like 20 scripts. It's 20 scripts written out that I just haven't recorded because this is the first day I've been off work and I haven't been like late in the day because I work on call. So they literally can just call me to come into work at any time and I have not had any time to record videos. So this is going to be your guys' little snack, little appetizer before I put some big food on the plate. So stay tuned in for that. If you like this video, if you like the reaction, drop a like, subscribe, and stay tuned in for more high quality One Piece content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.